The last 2 months of my life, let's say they were rough. Hello there everybody, Apo here, and this is the story of how I spent the last 2 months of my life. It was February when I was at the airport of Athens and I was going to Africa. Yes, I am going to Africa. At the airport I was not alone, as supposedly I would be traveling for the next 3 months in Africa with 2 of my very good friends, and the project was that we will visit 6 specific countries and we will make some capacity building seminars. Actually, my friends would do the capacity building seminars in universities and to some other NGOs, and I would be filming the whole procedure with the purpose of when we come back to create a small documentary for them and one for me. To give the story a bit more context here, it was my first time in Africa ever, and the first weeks, let's say I had some issues walking down the street because a white boy walking in a black neighborhood, everybody was staring at me. And I don't find it weird because it was then when I really understood in my bones, in my flesh, how black people are treated when they actually go to Europe or USA or generally the Western world. So yeah, I totally get it. The second thing I was dealing with was the food. Dude, the food is spicy as hell. And I don't mind spicy food, but I do mind spending so much time in the toilet because of that. Yeah, that was that. Back to the story now. We started in Ghana and then we moved to Togo and then we moved to Benin. And things were great. We were doing our schedule properly. We would go to the universities and then we would go to the beach sometimes to chill and relax and enjoy. And then we would continue to the next country and again we will visit universities, we will meet a lot of people. Things were great until
COVID-19 pandemic.
Around the world, there are 185,067 confirmed cases of coronavirus.
Wuhan seafood market was the source of the novel coronavirus outbreak.
The nation's hospitals making emergency demands, some doctors and nurses running low on protective gear.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
All this madness about COVID-19 started when we were still in Benin. And until that moment, everything seemed fine. Seminars were on time and everything was working perfectly. But then things started cancelling out and postponed, and Cameroon immediately shut the borders when this whole coronavirus started. So we started thinking about what we can do, but at the same time we had to move on. So we took our flight and we flew from Cotonou to Lagos and then from Lagos to Calabar. There we came across with a situation that wasn't ideal, but we're like, okay, let's do the seminars and see what's going on, and every day things will start changing and changing. So the first thing that shocked us was that Lagos airport just shut down and all the international flights were cancelled. And we're like, okay, that doesn't look good. We did our first day of our seminar there in Lagos, and then this seminar also got cancelled because like every day things were getting worse and worse and worse. So we were like, okay, we need to see what we're doing because we cannot stay in here if we don't do any seminars, and even if we go to Lagos, cannot do anything there and we don't know anybody, and Lagos is not the safest city in the world. So we called the Greek embassy, and the Greek embassy told us, okay, you can come to Lagos and there will be some flights in the next day, so hopefully we can get you in one of these flights. So we trusted them, and that's what we did. Next morning we flew to Lagos. Again, we're staying at a small hotel. It wasn't the ideal situation because after a few days the whole city got a lockdown and it was dangerous. We slowly started understanding that the embassy doesn't really care about us, and we again slowly understood that we have to find our own solution to our problem because nobody's gonna do anything for us if we don't do it for ourselves. And that's what we did. We took action. We called all the embassies and all the people we could contact there. We explained them our problem. We told them that we need to go back to Greece, either with a repatriation flight or with any flight possible. We just wanted to go back home. So after 4 or 5 days of continuous search, we finally got an answer from the French embassy in Lagos, and they got us in a flight. We were happy that we were having a flight back to Greece, but we knew that it's not gonna be easy. And it wasn't. because even going to the airport was hard because we had to arrange to have like a personal security guard. So when we were going to the airport, there was a police car behind us, so in case that they would stop us, they would tell us to proceed. So we went to the airport after a long wait outside of the airport that people were calling all the passengers with their names, with their doors shut, which was like stupid, but whatever. So after a long wait at the airport, we finally got in our flight and we finally arrived in Paris. In Paris, we're supposed to stay at a hotel, but the hotel informed us that it's closed one day before our arrival. And then we got informed that we can stay at the airport at a specific place for the people who have a layover and they would fly in one of the next days. So for 2 nights in a row, we slept in medical stretches, which I guarantee you that it's not the most comfortable bed, but whatever, it was a bed at least. And they were kind enough to give us water and sandwiches, so, you know, I forgive them. And then finally we had to go and get our flight from Paris to Greece. We were happy about it, but again, it wasn't that easy because life again happened, and when we were exactly above the airport in Athens, the weather wasn't so good and the pilot tried to land twice. He failed twice. The whole airplane was scared to death. People were throwing up, people were crying, people were praying. Wasn't the best situation, but at least our pilot was a ninja and he managed to land it on the 3rd time. Thank you, pilot, for that. We were happy that we were in Athens, and then, because I'm not living in Athens and I had to come to Crete where my house is, had to take a boat. And I made a whole video about what happened from the airport to the boat. You can watch it, it's gonna be linked around here somewhere. Totally defeated, I finally got on that boat and now I have safely arrived back home. And I'm so grateful about it. As of the last few days, I have arrived back home. I'm totally safe, I'm totally fine in my health. I'm in a quarantine state and I've already done like 10 or 11 days and I have 3 more days. And after that, I will be able again to go out, of course, with all the precautions. I will wash my hands, I will keep my distance and all that. But I will be able to go out and enjoy a little bit of the Greek sun. So now that you're aware of what I've been through in the last 2 months, I would really like to know, first of all, what is your opinion about all this crazy situation? And secondly, I would really like to know, what would you do if you were in my shoes? Like, how would you react? Like, seriously, I'm dying to know that. So, drop it down at the comments below. So, what about now? What's next? I have news for you. New content is coming up soon in the channel. And when I say new, it's like brand new, totally new content that I've never done in the past. I picked up some stories in some of the countries that we visited on the way, and I would like to create something with more depth and more quality and more based on story. And this time it's not gonna be my story, but it's gonna be the story of the people I met in Africa. And also I've shot some vlogs again in Africa, so this is also coming up. But first, I have to finish the story from Iceland because there are still some videos that I have already edited, and so I will upload the Icelandic videos first to finish with that story, and after that the African stories will start popping up. So tune in for that, hope you like it. To wrap up this video, I would like to express my extreme gratitude to each one of you that helped me throughout this difficult phase of my life. Like, when we were in Lagos, we were actually scared. It was a dangerous place to be at a very dangerous phase. And I received so much love and support from all of you guys, which is like, it's just incredible. I just have no words. Like, all this situation touched me a lot because I received so many messages of you, and you actually gave me courage and strength to go on and, you know, resolve all this difficult situation. So again, a huge thank you from the deep bottom of my heart. That was the last 2 months of my life. Wasn't easy at all, but it was interesting, and now I have a cool story to tell. So, you know, thanks again and see you on the next one.